Yeah, true, true. And I mean, when you look at just the core theme is like love and connection. And that goes beyond race, ethnicity, age, generation. It applies to us all. And so I just felt like, this story could just resonate with specific community, but be available to all communities, if that makes sense.
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. Today I'm talking to David Fortune, William Catlett, and Jeremiah Daniels about Color Book, which is on the festival circuit. It premiered at Tribeca and played recently at the Austin Film Festival and the AFI Film Festival. It is a beautiful black and white movie, so I'm going to try to make this black and white. All right, let's see if it worked. I'm going to talk to them right now. And while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you. So, thanks so much for joining me today. I've got David Fortune, William Catlett, and Jeremiah Daniels talking about Color Book, which is on the festival circuit. It premiered at the Tribeca International Film Festival and recently played at the Austin Film Festival and the AFI Film Festival. It is a beautiful, intimate story about a father and son just trying to do something nice for a day and the challenges and kind of love that life throws at them. I love this film. I thought it was, heartfelt, heartbreaking at times, and I just love the style. And I love the relationship between Will and Jeremiah, your characters. So I am very excited to talk to you, and thanks so much for joining me.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank you, David.
you.
Of course, of course. So, first question is for David. You wrote this. What inspired this story? Is this based on like someone you know, or just based on, maybe something similar that happened to you, or is this just you wanting to tell this beautiful story and you came up with, a realistic situation for it?
Yeah, great question. So it's more the latter. Is it really stemmed from me just wanting to see a black father and son story, right? I just wanted to wake up one day and on Netflix or on my YouTube see a trailer for a black father and son go on a journey anywhere. It could have been to Six Flags, it could have been to a baseball game, anywhere. So I was just really inspired to show that visual because we weren't really seeing that much in Hollywood. But it wasn't until I started speaking to parents who was raising children who had Down syndrome is where I decided to feel like this is a story I just don't want to tell, but I need to tell. And so really exploring a single black father raising a son who has Down syndrome was a narrative I felt like wasn't really being put out often. And I felt like mirrored a lot of lives that I spoken to throughout my course of my research for the film.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And I just love this story because it is a very different world than I am, right? Like I'm not black. I, didn't grow up in Atlanta, but like there are so many universal themes here, like the love between father and son, the like father trying to do what he can to make his son happy, and the frustrations of parenthood. Like that was very relatable. Like sometimes your kids just don't want to do things, or sometimes your kids do something that you aren't expecting, and that causes problems, but also that's just kind of life and that's how it goes. So I was definitely reacting and feeling this movie as I was watching it. So I'm glad that you wrote the story. I'm glad that it was relatable to like all audiences pretty much.
Yeah, true, true. And I mean, when you look at just the core theme is like love and connection. And that goes beyond race, ethnicity, age, generation. It applies to us all. And so I just felt like, this story could just resonate with specific community, but be available to all communities, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And so William and Jeremiah, how did you get involved in this movie? How did this like, come across your radar? And Jeremiah, we can start with you if you want to start. Like, how did you get into this movie? How did you, get this role?
It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did this come specifically to you? Did you know David before filming this, or did you just like apply to be in this movie?
So I'm gonna say from David to step back into hoping
Hmm.
was together.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if I may. I'm Terrence.
no
Jeremiah is
worries.
there.
No worries.
No, we didn't have a connection to David prior to this. It's just something that we can literally say we stumbled into, and Jeremiah was prepared.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask, like, Jeremiah, did you do any like preparation for this, or did you just come on set and just kind of like be your natural self?
Yes.
That's awesome. No, I love that. I love that you just like, and that's one of the things that I loved about this movie is that every character felt very natural. It didn't feel like anyone was like acting. It just felt like you had a window into this world. And so I love that your character just felt like a normal kid, like you're just having fun, you were drawing, you were making crafts, you were going to a game with your dad, and it's nothing about it felt like you were, specifically playing a character. It just felt like you were being yourself.
Thank you.
That's awesome. William, how did you get involved in this movie? How did this come across you? Had you worked with Dave before, or was this just a surprise?
I've never worked with David before. I've heard about this film from various of people. Even when I was at church, one of my homegirls came up to me and said, "Hey, do you know about this film, Color Book?" And I ended up taping a buddy of mine for the role. And I told him, I said, whoever gets this role will become a movie star, and I hope you get it. But while I was taping him, I had a flash that flashed before my eyes. Was like, man, I think they're going to offer you this role. And so that led to a Zoom conversation with David, and we just hit it off, man. Some people you just meet in life, and you like, okay, I have something that you need, and how can I serve? And you have something that I desperately need. And how can you serve me, and how can we serve the story? And so we approached it that way. And he's a phenomenal director and so sensitive to the moments and honesty and truth, and allows the actor to breathe. And that's what I really enjoyed, because I kind of dance in a couple spaces. I dance in the TV space. I've danced in the theater space. I've danced in, the independent and, some big budget movie spaces, and you don't always get that time to breathe. And David was very intentional on this story must breathe. And you need this, one of the reasons why you feel that and you see that while mentioning the breath part, because even in Jeremiah's character, Mason, we hear him breathing a lot. And a lot of times you don't get to see that in film. They usually cut those parts out so you can keep it moving. And that's what really attracted me to the film.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I love those parts about it too. Like I said, this feels like a window into someone's life. And so those small moments, those moments that are normally cut, like that made this feel like more natural, more real. And also, I think gave you like a more intimate picture of what's happening, like seeing, life when it's not super exciting, seeing life when, you're just, playing with your son or making breakfast. The breakfast scene was like one of my favorites, because I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That was a great one.
Yeah. So like William and Jeremiah, like how did you kind of establish a relationship, for your on-screen relationship? Did you do anything before? Did you meet up before, or did you just like get on set and start acting just right from the start? Because it's an indie film, you don't have enough time.
I'll speak to that first, Jeremiah, if you don't mind. I come in and it's a rehearsal. We come into this, this workspace, and I look at him, and the first instinct I feel is that's my son. And I meet his mom, I meet his dad, and then we start to rehearse the scene. But it was more of a spiritual connection than anything. And I always applaud Jeremiah's parents, because the way they are raising him, although he's dealing with Down syndrome, you never see it, especially when you hang out with him outside of set. I mean, he's the life of the party. He's the movie star on set. He's the one that has the entourage. He makes you just feel so good about who you are, because he's authentic to who he is. And so I would look for those different moments, and I would look how he would interact with his parents, and I would take from them and have conversations with them. Not too much, but just little things, the way Terrence would look or how he would protect his kid. And I said, okay, I can draw from that. And then once we got on set, it was just, it was a match made in heaven.
That's awesome. That's really smart too, to just kind of like, again, make it more authentic, to see how his parents are interacting, and you pull that into your character, and that just gives you that background essentially. Jeremiah, what was it like working with William? What was it like when you like first started working with him? Was it fun? Was it difficult? Or I guess what was your onset experience like?
It's good to work with Will and David to help me, supporting me. So thank you guys. So thank you, David. You're good. You're good. You're great. Thank you very much. And thank you, Will. You're amazing.
Was it hard?
It's not hard. It's
That's
perfect.
awesome. That's awesome. And Jeremiah, this is your first movie, is that right? Like you haven't been in any other movies before, or did you act before this?
No.
That's
So
awesome.
this is his first.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Like what a movie to be your first movie. Like that is beautiful.
One thing I would say about Jeremiah, because he's not saying it right now, but we used to have this running joke. We still do that, he's the movie star and I'm not. And I remember he's tired on set at this point in time. And he looks at me, and I think we're on the train, and he says, Will, I said, what's up? Man, movie stars need breaks. I need to take a break. I'm looking at him. I'm like, nah, man, we gotta stay locked in. We gotta
Yeah.
get this shot. And
That's
just good to see his awareness of his environment and how he, just kind of dove into it. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, yes, this is his first movie, but when something's meant for somebody, they just kind of just ease into it, and it was an ease with him into the work, which makes it, even better for myself to be even more grounded.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, for sure. It's nice to have that like fun rapport to kind of like break up some very serious subject matter in the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And one more question for you, Jeremiah. The pictures in the movie, like your character is always drawing, always kind of observing. Did you draw those pictures or did someone else? I was curious. I wasn't sure, where those pictures came from.
I draw a picture.
That's awesome. That's perfect. And where are they? Do you have them? Does David have them? Does Will have them? Where did those pictures go?
It's from Will.
They're going into the museum.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Jeremiah, you and Will are still pretty close after filming. Have you maintained a good relationship and maintained contact after filming this movie?
Yes.
That's awesome. So I know we have limited time. I'm going to switch to just it's a lightning round. There's lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your experiences map to things that happened in the movie. You can feel free to skip any of them. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable. The first question: what was the last game that you went to? What was the last sporting event that you all went to? And we'll start with you, David.
I actually, believe it or not, went to a baseball game. The
and,
Braves game.
and you made it. You made it to the game.
Yes, I made it to the game like hours before, on time.
Perfect.
So yes, I went to a Braves game. That was my last sporting event.
Jeremiah, what about you? What was the last sporting event or game that you went to?
Devin Nuggets.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a good game. What about you, William?
I went to go see the Atlanta Hawks play courtside when I was shooting Color Book.
Wow. All right.
You know
I
about me.
was
No,
gonna
I
say.
went with what's this that was doing our
You went
hair?
with D. You went with D.
D. Yeah. We got the tickets and hung out together.
You didn't tell me, man. I wanted to go to the Atlanta Hawks game, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. On Color Book 2, we got it. Color Book 2, we got it.
Mhm.
I was gonna say that you keep calling Jeremiah the movie star, but that's a movie star move to sit courtside.
Oh
That's
yeah.
impressive. And the next question, I loved the necklaces that Jeremiah, your character and William made in this movie. Do you have any jewelry or clothing that you have made yourself? Do you have any that you wear?
So, no.
No,
No.
it was just for the movie. What about you, William or David? Either of you?
For myself, I wear oftentimes like a brooch or a pin on some of my suits. And some of those brooches and pins actually come from my aunt who passed away.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and so, I always kind of keep those things close when it comes to like family. So just little small jewelry or, items to put on my clothing items. So that's it.
That's beautiful.
I'm always altering something. Either I'm cutting off half the suit, or even the shirt that I got on, I cut here, and then at the bottom, it's cut here. So I'm always finding something creative when I can locate a pair of scissors.
Mm.
You gotta make sure it fits nicely, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the last question. This movie involved several balloons. When was the last time that you had a balloon and did you accidentally let it go? And we'll start with you, Jeremiah, if you want to answer.
Or the balloon.
Your niece's party.
My niece's birthday party.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Was that recent? Was it recent?
Yes.
Very nice. Dave, what about you?
Last time I had a balloon. It was actually at an event that AT&T sponsored. And they brought like a lot of like blue and white balloons to kind of honor the theme of the movie. So that was the last time I was engaging with some balloon items through AT&T and their program where they just want to screen the movie, but they also want to do a balloon theme.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Did they release the balloons?
No, no, no. I hope not. No, nobody.
What about what you, William? Have you had a balloon recently?
Yes, because I'm in my Jackie Robinson year. I just turned 42 on October 16th, and I had a big 4 and a big 2.
Mm.
I wanted to release the balloons into the sky, but I have 2 kids, and they wanted to play with the balloons until they popped. So they end up being released into the ceiling of the home.
That works. And you have to send me whatever your health routine is because you do not look 42 at all. That is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, and the last thing, I love this in the movie. I love when you all would flex with each other. So can we get a flex for the just for the final?
Where
Yeah,
you
there
at?
we
Where you at,
go.
Mason?
There we
Come
go.
on.
Boom. I see that
Come
12 pack.
on.
Let's go. Yes, I love it.
There
Awesome.
we go.
Beautiful. So you can check out all the flexing. You can check out the balloons and the game in color book. It's on the festival circuit. It premiered at Tribeca and recently played on Austin Film Festival and AFI Film Festival. If you can see on the festival circuit, definitely do it. It is a beautiful, wonderful film. If you can't, if you have to wait for whatever the next thing happens, either theaters or digital, definitely check it out. It is a fantastic movie. This is David Fortune, William Catlett, and Jeremiah Daniels. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Dude.
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
Yeah, brother. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Take care. That was David Fortune, William Catlett, and Jeremiah Daniels talking about Color Book, which is on the festival circuit, premiered at Tribeca, and recently played at the Austin Film Festival and the AFI Film Festival. It is a beautiful, striking drama about a father just trying to do something nice for his son and the challenges, tribulations, but also love that happened along the way. It is beautiful, it is intimate, and it'll both make you smile and cry. So definitely check it out if you can. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.